do not talk inappropriately, and do not make inappropriate jokes. The only exceptions are if you are dating someone or are married to someone and you both are fine with it. If you are talking with a really close friend that is the same age as you, that it's also appropriate, but I am not encouraging young people to do so. I only encourage older people to do so. But the main point of what I'm trying to get at with this video here is if you are my age, literally my age, even a year younger, 2 years younger, 3 years younger, even 15, if you are speaking to people of all ages, if you are friends with people of all ages, for example, I run my YouTube channel and I go in VCs with my fans, I constantly make sure that I make no inappropriate joke and I do not talk inappropriately. This could go for anything. This could go for, well, literally inappropriate stuff like the bad inappropriate stuff I don't mention on this channel. This goes for talking trash about somebody, literally anything that is not appropriate. When you talk to a lot of people, make sure to present yourself as extremely appropriate. Only say things that are appropriate. When you have beef with a certain particular person, do not announce it for the public to know. Only talk about it if you really need to, only if you really need to, amongst really close friends. And when I said earlier, only talk inappropriately to a close friend your age, and remember when I said I do not encourage younger people to do so, only older people, I meant actual inappropriate matter that I don't talk about on this YouTube channel because this YouTube channel is family friendly. If you want to vent to a close friend about somebody, vent to only close friends. Just make sure they're not too young. Like, I would never talk crap over a venting session to a 13-year-old. I do, however, to Ace of Spades, sometimes Awesome Folsome, Hugo and BR, my girlfriend. If you talk bad about people to a lot of people, it makes you come off as immature. It just sets an uncomfortable vibe. There are rare situations though. For example, if someone is so bad and so dangerous, and if you know that somebody else thinks that they're a good person, tell them, hey, there's this person who's extremely dangerous. I'm telling you this out of respect for your well-being. Otherwise, hush. Subscribe to my channel, JB dragmotoxboss, for millions of IQ. Also join my Discord server, JB's Palace. When you start to speak your opinion about certain people, there's YouTubers that do not like, that I think are corrupt as crap, that most people don't see, but I do see. Now, the reason I don't speak about these people, because it could start a lot of commotions. A lot of people who like the people that I think are corrupt. Number two, it makes me look kind of petty, makes me look kind of immature, not like a real adult. Number three, maybe I could be mistaken and this person is not corrupt, or they're not trying to be corrupt. Well, that still doesn't excuse the fact that they're corrupt, but this will also cause unnecessary drama. It is not good to have drama. Then you end up worrying and then makes your life not as happy. I was talking in my last two videos, it's basically how to make your life happy. This is how to undo it if you cause dramas and retaliation happens. Now, I will admit, sometimes people slip. Sometimes you'll accidentally mess up. Humans are not perfect. But as long as you are 99% of the time being perfect, or at least try your hardest, then that's all right. If you keep goofing up, then at that rate, then you probably should just distance yourself to save yourself. Goodness gracious. I know somebody who is 17 years old. If you're watching this video, you way more likely than not will know that I'm talking about you. So with all due respect, and perhaps some people watching this video may know who I'm talking about. So I'm not confirming that it is this person. No, you guys don't even know who I'm talking about for sure though. When you're literally being a person, which you're always a person, you need to constantly put yourself in other people's shoes. How do you come off as? How do people see you whenever you're in their presence? Like, what do they think of you? What do they think of you when you say certain things? Now, don't get too caught up in this, because sometimes people have certain thoughts and judgments that are not right. So don't worry too much about that. Always be yourself, all right? But don't be overly weird by acting too inappropriate. Act civil, all right? There are certain situations where maybe you have a group of friends who are the same exact age as you, who act inappropriately in certain ways. Only certain ways of acting inappropriate can you act inappropriate, as long as it doesn't really harm anybody, and as long as it's only with that group of friends and they're all pretty much the same age as you, and you are real old, all right? You're old enough. You're not real young. But in terms of like everybody else, you just need to be absolutely careful. How do you come off as? It's another thing. Just constantly put yourself in other people's shoes when it comes to how you come off as when they speak to you. It is a good thing to do. I constantly do it with everybody in my life, except for not maybe my parents a tiny bit, but not that often. Because with my parents, well, they kind of love you unconditionally and they expect you to act real immature. But in terms of everybody else, I always constantly put myself in other people's shoes, and sometimes my own parents. I just wonder, how do they view me? How does everybody else view me? Have that mindset. Like I said, don't go too crazy on it. Still be yourself. You're still an amazing person, but just be civil. Now, I said that twice, so that should really be imprinted in your brain by now. The more popular you are on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or Snapchat, the more of an influence that you can have. So if you have an influence, I certainly do have an influence to an extent. You need to be extremely careful. You need to be extremely careful of what you say. You need to be careful not to accidentally give advice that will cause someone to do something bad. I'm very careful with these life lesson videos. Or if people look up to you, just be very careful what you say, because people could take that the wrong way and then end up doing something bad. Also, don't talk trash about people if you're like a YouTuber, because that could have influence. That could cause a bunch of people to turn against that corrupt YouTuber, and then that corrupt YouTuber will get worse treatment than what you would want that corrupt YouTuber to be treated like. And then, yeah, because there's a lot of immature people out there. Be careful of the influence level that you have towards other people. Be careful what you say. Believe it or not, you don't even have to be a YouTuber or like somebody who has a lot of followers or subscribers to even be looked up to. Younger kids could look up to you, or even kids the same age as you. I remember there's this one guy I used to look up to. He's only 1 year older than me. I don't look up to him anymore. Ever since people started looking up to me, I really focused on looking up to myself more than looking up to that guy. I know that sounds stupid. It does. It sounds very, very, it sounds very snobby of me to say, but no, it's true. I'm very proud of the person I am, so I constantly look up to myself. And I also improve myself as well, all right? I'm like, I really like the character I am. I really like my personality, so I just admire myself in a non-snobby way. I don't rub it in people's faces, okay? I don't brag in people's faces, oh, I'm the greatest, oh, I'm the greatest. I mean, proof. I even had a little trouble saying what I just said now. But when you become a very good person, it is good to look up to yourself as well. Look at yourself. Realize this is the person I've become, and I'm very proud of myself. So it is good to have self-confidence. Not to brag, okay? Don't brag, but it is good to have self-confidence. You know, just say something good about yourself once in a while. You know, it's time I at least say something good about myself. I mean, you know, I don't want to be snobby. I've been doing a good job of not being snobby, but once in a while, you guys, believe it or not, you guys gotta hear me say something good about myself, so I could practice to you guys. I could show you guys that I think good of myself, and you guys should too, as long as you craft yourself into being a good person, okay?